So our next movie we're going to do is The Bad Lieutenant, Port of Call, New Orleans. This is starring Nick Cage and Eva Mendes. This is Bad Lieutenant, Port of Call, New Orleans, which is a remake, kind of. It's more similar to the old '92 version.
More inspired by.
Yeah. This one is directed by William Herzog.
Werner Herzog.
Okay.
The famous German documentarian.
Yeah, who did Grizzly Man and also Rescue Dawn. This movie stars Nicolas Cage, who is the grungiest, most corrupt cop on the planet. It starts out with him being kind of a hero, but there's a guy locked as the Katrina has hit and the water's rising. They evacuated a prison, and he and Val Kilmer are deciding whether or not to save an inmate. And eventually he gives up and he falls in. He breaks his back or something, which gives him a limp through the rest of the movie. Then it jumps ahead like 6 months to where it talks about his back injury. And you just follow him as he just goes around town. It's still chaotic from Katrina. And about every 30 seconds, he's popping some kind of drug or having some kind of sexual encounter with a random person.
Prostitute, usually.
Yeah. But the main plot line is there's a gangster who's running the town, and he's killed 5 people, and they're trying to convict him, but they can't because there's no evidence against him. So it's like 2 movies. There's the finding and capturing the bad guy, and this character piece about a really corrupt cop. And it creates for a difficult movie, I think. I really liked the movie because it was really fast-paced between all the cocaine and heroin being snorted. And he just runs around New Orleans doing crazy stuff, getting involved with bookies. And you can't like the character because he's just so corrupt, but he's just so energetic and, I don't know, manipulative of the events that you can't help but realize him as a protagonist versus, you know, the kind of guy you just don't like. Let's see. I also liked Val Kilmer. It's good to see him outside of the B-movie genre.
Yeah.
He's been making a lot of these. Cuba Gooding Jr. have been doing all these really terrible B movies. It's good to see him as at least an A-lister that went to theaters.
It was a borderline cameo, though. I mean, he's barely in the movie.
That's true. He is just kind of a sidekick.
Yeah.
Let's see.
What grade did you give that?
I gave this one a B, mostly because, the 2 plot lines makes it, you lose the main plot line through a lot of the movie just because it's too busy going around with his horrible life with his alcoholic father and his prostitute girlfriend and just the horrible choices he's making running around.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of these really bizarre close-ups of reptiles, which I didn't understand.
Yeah. There was like this weird symbolism within the movie that I didn't quite get. There was the iguanas, and then at the end there's a scene with fish. Yeah. And I'm just like, what are you trying to say?
There's all this weird, creepy music. It kind of gave me. The movie was very much like Scarface meets Fear and Loathing, and
Yeah.
It's got that kind of actiony, corrupt, drug-doing protagonist with the really trippy stuff on the side because, you're not really sure what's going on the whole time.
Yeah, I thought this movie was okay. I thought that Nicolas Cage's performance was uneven, but at times it was really, really good, and then at other times it felt like it was just Nicolas Cage being crazy. And I had a hard time with the plot too. I thought that there was a lot of plot elements, and the movie may have suffered less if it had chosen less plot elements to focus on. Because you had the a murder mystery that it sort of started out with, and then it goes into drug dealing rackets and how he's kind of playing drug dealers against drug dealers, kind of in a Yojimbo sort of style. And yeah, but towards the last third of the movie, you should have been wrapping up everything, but it seemed like it realized, oh, the movie's about to end. Okay, we gotta make it end. And I felt like a lot of the loose ends kind of get tied very conveniently.
Yeah.
And I was trying to think about the ending, if whether it was an intentional happy ending or a false happy ending. Like maybe it didn't actually happen.
No, it felt like that it actually happens, and I really hated that part actually.
Yeah, the last 15
just,
minutes.
It was just like, and it's all coming together, and you're just kind of like, really, this entire movie's going, everything's going to crap, and you're just going to make everything happy in the end.
Yeah, and I was confused as whether Herzog was trying to say, sometimes good things happen to bad people, and there's nothing we can do about it, and that's just the way life is, or was he trying to actually redeem the character? I was unsure of that. I thought there was some good moments. There was some good visuals. I thought that there was some good performances here and there. I liked the way the direction in general was handled. But in all, I had to give it a C.
Oh.
So, with that,